On December 31, 2024, the gas transit agreement between Ukraine and Russia will expire. This agreement has been the foundation for Russian pipeline gas deliveries to Europe. At its peak, Russian gas accounted for over 40% of the EU's gas imports. Today, Norway supplies about one-third of the gas consumed by the EU, but for countries like Austria, Hungary and Slovakia, Russian gas from Gazprom remains a critical source.
The EU has long argued that member countries still importing Russian gas via the Ukraine route, most notably Austria and Slovakia, can do without the supplies. The Commission has said it won't enter into negotiations to keep the route open. Nevertheless, gas buyers from Slovakia and Hungary are continuing negotiations to keep gas flowing after the transit deal expires, with the proposal involving a swap deal between Azerbaijan and Russia. From a Bloomberg publication.
The gradual phase-out of Russian gas is not expected to harm the European economy, according to Brussels' assessment cited by Bloomberg. Alternative supply routes and the anticipated end of the Ukraine-Russia agreement are already factored into European gas market prices.
If there is political will, Europe can absolutely survive without Russian gas. European regulators point out that even Austria, which last year imported nearly 90% of its gas from Russia, could manage by sourcing supplies from Western and Southern Europe. Alternatives exist. However, some countries and companies are still seeking cheap Russian gas, likely discounted through Turkey, which is understandably attractive to companies. Ora Sabados, senior energy journalist at ICIS Energy.
Despite reducing pipeline imports, Europe continues to buy liquefied natural gas from Russia, albeit in smaller quantities. In the first half of 2024, EU imports of Russian LNG increased by 7%, according to Forbes Ukraine. For example, France doubled its LNG imports from Russia. Meanwhile, the Baltic states are in their second year without Russian natural gas. Lithuania's Ministry of Foreign Affairs has been advocating for stricter sanctions on Russian LNG and other businesses linked to Moscow.
We must keep pushing. Over 600 European companies still operate in Russia. This must stop because it directly supports the Russian economy. We also need sanctions on Russian LNG since Europe spent 5 billion euros on it this year. Additionally, we should increase tariffs on Russian and Belarusian goods. Kęstutis Budrys, Minister of Foreign Affairs of Lithuania, before the EU foreign ministers meeting in Brussels, quoted by European Pravda.
EU sanctions have severely impacted Russia's gas production and export infrastructure. Russia has halted some operations at the world's largest LNG plant near Murmansk. The company Novatek is struggling with a shortage of icebreakers and LNG tankers due to sanctions. Meanwhile, shipbuilding companies are refusing to cooperate with Moscow to avoid secondary sanctions. Adding to the challenge, India recently decided not to purchase gas from the Arctic LNG 2 project, further dealing a blow to Russia's energy sector. Reported by Serhiy Kulyas, Larissa Petruk, UATV News.